More and more frequently, breast cancer patients are offered the opportunity now to take part in a clinical trial. And to help you better understand whether such an option is right for you, this video is going to explain what a clinical trial is, how the patient selection process works, and what considerations you have to weigh to decide whether or not you want to go into one. Now, first and foremost, understand that a clinical trial is an experiment. It's a scientific test, and it's conducted to help determine whether treatment A works better than treatment B. And usually it compares the current standard therapy with a new regimen or treatment plan that may in fact be more effective. They're hoping it will be. So if your oncologist says that you qualify for a clinical trial, would you like to enter one? There's a few things you might want to consider. However, if your very first reaction to that suggestion is, oh no, not more things I have to think about, and makes you feel a little bit more stressed out, then step back a little bit and ask yourself this question. What if 10 years down the road from now, there's a report saying that treatment B was actually better than treatment A? Wouldn't you feel shortchanged if you weren't even offered the opportunity to be part of that clinical trial right now? Let's talk a little bit more about what a clinical trial is. It's merely an experiment that we've established. However, the other thing that you should know, they don't really know the results yet. Remember that. In other words, they can't tell you for sure whether treatment B is really better than treatment A, only that it represents a best guess by the clinicians, scientists, and statisticians that it could be better. Know that they're hoping it will be. That's why they're doing it. And the difficult part in all this for most patients is the fact that it's randomized. That means that you're randomly selected as to whether you get treatment A or treatment B, and you're not going to know either which one you're getting. So you don't get to choose whether you get the old or the new treatment. A system of random numbers does it. It's all calculated by computer. And so if you're uncomfortable with the idea of a computer deciding your treatment by chance, then it might not be a good idea for you to go into a randomized trial. And the other thing that happens for some people when they realize this, that this whole idea of the fact that they're passive in the decision makes them feel further unable to control a situation that already feels out of their control. So it makes them feel a little bit more fragile and uncertain. So if that's something that you're not able to contain or get over, then maybe that's not a good thing for you, because you are not going to know which treatment you are receiving. Now, another concept that's upsetting for some patients is this whole aspect of eligibility criteria. And this means that you have to meet very stringent parameters to even get into the trial in the first place. And such criteria are established, though, for a reason. They want to achieve some homogeneity. In other words, a sameness about the people participating in the clinical trial in terms of the type of cancer they have, and several other situations that will kind of make everyone in the group be as identical as they can, so there's fewer parameters to interfere with the interpretation of the tests. So in other words, if they don't have a sameness about the population they're testing, scientists can't draw accurate conclusions about the effectiveness to say that treatment B is more effective than treatment A in the treatment of the cancer. So it's really up to you to be an intelligent healthcare consumer at this point, and you have to weigh all the advantages. And if I were you, I'd get as much information as I could, both about the standard treatment and a proposed new therapy, and as well as much information as you can get about the side effects of both treatments. And then after you analyze all that, if you don't have any problems with rolling the dice for either treatment, then you could actually get a lot of satisfaction from being in a clinical trial, because it'll give a little bit more meaning to what you're going through. And remember, you'll be making a valuable contribution to advancing cancer treatment. Now, that's not, to lay any particular pressure one way or the other. However, understand that the treatment that you're getting right now, if you do take the standard treatment, came from what they learned in previous studies. So it's all a matter of how the whole aspect of whether or not you can handle not knowing which treatment situation you're going to be in, if you can handle that at the roll of the dice of a computer. And if that's fine with you, then you just might want to consider it after you considered all the pros and cons of both treatment and possible side effects. But please, don't opt for a clinical trial until you're absolutely at ease with that decision. The last thing you need is a feeling of anxiety on top of the anxiety. So just do what's right for you. There's no wrong or right response when you're offered this situation. Please do what's right for you. What's right for you is right for your body and right for your healing.